Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. We're holding in Chulin Daf Zayin. Very important Daf. We have a few important Agadatas in this Daf. Famous Agadatas are mentioned throughout, the Sfarim. So let's start. The Gemara says, Matkiflo Yehudo Brei der B'Shimon B'Pazi. Meaning, we started a sugya. The Gemara brought, as part of the series of stories that have to do with Behim Tamshel Tzadikim. The people don't make mistakes with food, at least. We have the fact that Rameir, he was in Beis Shean, and he ate a vegetable, he ate a leaf, without a meiser. So from here, the Rabbi learn from here that what? That it's not part of Eretz Yisrael. So does anybody hold Beit Shan is not Eretz Yisrael? But it's a fair pasuk. Menashe was late and he did not yet conquer Beit Shan. He wasn't there. In other words, the pasuk says he didn't get there yet. Mashra is supposed to conquer it. So you see the Beit Shan is part of Eretz Yisrael. Says the Gemara, Ishtamitete Adom Amshim Bel Yokim Shabloz Ben Pedas Shalom Meshua Blozo Ben Shemoy. He missed out what was said in the name of Blozo Ben Shemoy. Habe Krachim Kovshum Oile Mitzrayim Velo Kovshum Oile Bovel. When Yeshua came from Mitzrayim, meaning after Moshe was nifted, comes to Eretz Yisrael, he conquered Eretz Yisrael. And that was the kibush. They went to Golus. They come back after Bavel. And they were able to, Bavel gave them the right to be in Eretz Yisrael. Not all the towns that they had in the time of Oile Mitzrayim, they had in the time of Oile Bavel. Kasovai, Kedusha Rishon and Kitchel, L'Shaitzo, V'loi Kitchel Asulova. Meaning the Kedusha of Mitzrayim, it does not remain. It goes away. But Kedusha's Bavel, as Rashi points out over here, it does remain. Kedusha Bavel, the second Kedusha states, the Rambam, the very famous Rambam, tells us why, what's the difference between the Kedusha Mitzrayim, Oile Mitzrayim, Kedusha Oile Bavel. It says Oile Mitzrayim happened through kibush, through conquering. So once you were conquered back, so it's over. But kibush Oile Bavel wasn't conquering, it was the Melech Paras gave them reshus to go. So that was a chazaka, so that doesn't go away. So it says the Gemara, so they did not take all the cities. It's not only that they couldn't, but they didn't want to. Why? So the poor that were able to eat Shemitah, and there's no Shemitah there, it's not part of Eretz Yisrael. So in other words, Beis Shean is one of the cities that used to be Eretz Yisrael, but it's not Eretz Yisrael anymore. So what is even the raya from Amir? Remain in one leaf. One leaf is not Chab and Meiser. He ate it once, it was in a bundle. Now, Yerek and Negod, you put it in a bundle, once you put it in the bundle, it's Chab and Meiser. Says the Movidil Malavadite, this is what we brought the whole story over here. What's the right there? Amir did not do Meiser, and Mimel, you want to say Beit Shan is not Eretz Yisrael. Beit Shan is Eretz Yisrael. Hi, why did you do Meiser? He forgot. He made a mistake. So why you can't say. Hashto Bein, Shel Tzadikim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Vita Kol Al Yodom. Shmuel does not allow an animal outside to make an Aveiro. Tzadikim Atzal HaKol Sheken. And as Toya said before, specifically talking about achila, but food, we don't allow it. Says Movedimo Iser Aleo Mimokamachim. Maybe Rameir did do Meiser just in a different place. Meaning he took fruits from another place. Truma and Meiser you do only for fruits which are in close proximity. Now for Rashi here explains why. Because if it's not in close proximity, maybe the fruits you're doing Meiser from are not here. They're already lost, they got rotten. Not supposed to think that, but you want to be machmir, make sure that you do one next to each other. Maybe there was one pile, and he said the right side is Meiser, the left side. He says, listen, who's the one who said the story of Rameir? It was of Yeshua ben Zoruz, the brother-in-law of Rameir. He's a chasher person. He checked out. He's telling you the story. That means he checked out the details. That's what it was. It wasn't that he made a mistake. So we learn from here that Beit Shan is not part of Eretz Yisrael. So my be'endish like now you brought three nekudos in the Gemara regarding the idea that if a behem of a tzaddik doesn't make a mistake, of course a tzaddik. What is the behem of a tzaddik? Says the Gemara now the story. Pinchas bin Yair is going to do a mitzvah to redeem Shurim. He gets to the river called Yinoi. Says Ginoi, he tells the river, I want you to split so I can go through you. Says the river, so the first you're saying, it says it's not the river itself, it's the Malach. Malach says, I have obligation from Hashem to continue going, and your obligation to do a mitzvah. So why should I stop my mitzvah for you? In addition, you maybe will be successful in redeeming the Shavui, the one in captivity. Maybe not. I'm doing the right thing right now. If you don't stop, I'll stop the water completely. Here the Ben Yoda has a longer richus, but the Yisrael over here is to show that Ben Yodam or in a higher level than a Malach. He's telling the Malach, you want to do what I can stop you doing for anything the whole time. So he split. Behind him was somebody carrying wheat for Pesach. Split also for him because he's doing a mitzvah. What's the mitzvah? He's just taking wheat. So Rashi says because the mitzvah to do shimur from the time of harvesting, so he's already busy with the mitzvah. So he split. The love about Dayu. There was a Ishmaeli, a guy that was with him. He was with him. A split also for him. Not saying that, you see the people that go with the Jews, they don't respect them. So the river split for him as well. Look, he's greater than Moshe Rabbeinu in the Shitin Riboy. Am Yisrael was split the sea once. Here he split 3 times. Maybe he was also one time. Meaning what? Maybe he didn't close. He was open. He says, stay the way you are for the Jew to pass by. Stay the way they are until the guy passes by. It's like Moshe and Shishim Riboy, meaning the same level. But so here's also an Nekudo that the Leshem points out. He says it's a Shiloh throughout Shas. You see that the Amoraim were able to do things that in ease they could do nisim. The story with Antoninus that he killed the servant, came the Talmidim of Rabbi and made him come alive. He brings this Gemara too. He split the sea. When you look at the Tanakh, for Eliyahu Novi, for Elisha to go and be Machim Esim, what a story! He had to go back and forth. To split the sea, what a big malach. How can it be? The later generations had more power than the first generations. So the Lesha has a big aside that what happened in Bayis Sheni is that Kosh Baruch Hu gave the power of Torah and he made the power of the world to the Chachamim. That was a switch. During Bayis Rishon, considered to be the time of Torah Bechtav, Kosh Baruch Hu was running the world. Human beings are just following through. But you can't do Nisim. Kosh Baruch Hu does Nisim. But once it came by Sheni, the power of Torah was given to human beings. And now the Tanoi Amorim can do Nisim as much as they want. So he comes to this hotel. Romali Sar Lechamri. We're getting to the story of the donkey. They give his donkey barley. Lo yochel. The donkey doesn't want to eat. It says in one of Zion with base. Chavtinu. What's chavtinu? They go and they hit the food with like a sifter to clean it up. Lo yochel. They want to eat it. Nakrinu. So they went and they cleaned it even better. By a dime, Rashi says. Lo yochel. So they tried everything. The donkey's not eating. Omalahu, so Sapricha B'Yor said, Dimoloi Ma'asru Masrinu. Maybe he didn't do Ma'asru. Asrinu. So he did Ma'asru. Ochel. In other words, the donkey of Sapricha B'Yor did not want to eat without Ma'asru. Omar, Nizu, Nechla says, what's so in Korn, Batem, Achlim, Osat failing. So how does then this poor creature wants to do it with Hashem, and you give him your Teva? So in 1 second, is there any Chiyu Ma'asru by an animal? Someone takes seeds, it takes a grain for seeds, or for an animal, So he's taking to put it on hides. For Shemin Lener, takes it to light candle with it. Shemin Losuch Boy Sakalim to put on Kalim. Potter Madamai. But even for a Sophic Maisa, you don't do it because it's not regular food. That's only if you did it for the Behemoth originally. Adam was meant for human beings. So that's the story here is Chayv and Meiser. Tais brings the Yerushalmi, it says no, she was machmer on herself. The Gemara doesn't ask the question, what do you mean a Behemoth is not mechuyev mitzvahs? But here, this is a story, the Tzadok speaks about it, that all that belongs to Adam is his extension. And by Tzadikim, their animals are their extension. If they're makbid and everything, their animals also, as part of them, they'll do whatever he does. Someone takes fruits to eat, and brings a raya. Decides to give it to the animal. I raise the loit and loli for the behem. He's not allowed to give it to the animal. The loit for the behem is chaveiro, elim kenisa, or behem of his friend, unless he did a ma'aser. So this is the story of Pinchas ben Yair. The behem or the donkey of Pinchas ben Yair was not interested in eating something not without a ma'aser. Something more Shoma Rebbe Nofag Lape. So Rebbe hears the story. He hears the Pinchas ben Yair is there, and he comes to him. Can you come want to eat by me? By the way, there's a different Yerushalayim. Pinchas ben Yair was somewhat related to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Either it was his father-in-law or his son-in-law. Different Yerushalayim. So a little nagel to Inyan and the Yom of this week. So you want to come eat me? He says yes. So Rebbe was very happy. Why? So we'll see in the end of the daf that Pinchas ben Yair never ate by anybody. So he was very happy, Rebbe. You think I don't want to eat by Yisrael? Like the fact that I don't eat by people, think I have a neder not to eat by people? Yisrael Kedoshi, man. So it's very Kaddish. So why don't I eat by them? So he explains. Yes, some people want to feed, want to host me, but they don't have food. So I'm going to go take it for someone who doesn't have. Some people have, but don't really want to host. So what is so why is he a Kaddish? It says because he's misgaber on his yetzer. He's forcing himself to bring him as a guest. Don't eat from someone who doesn't want to give. It's like either Rashi brings the shar, he's either like making a hole in the stomach, or giving pain in the stomach, giving you to eat. He tells you to come eat, but doesn't want to give it to you. So don't do that. Don't take food from someone who doesn't want to give. I don't need my people, because I know some people say they want to give, they don't want to give, and some people don't have what to give. But you, Rebbe, you want to give. I know you want to, and you have. You're rich. I'm busy with the mitzvah. When I come back, I'll come to you. When he came back, he came from a specific door in the house of Rebbe. They were there white mules. Why? Because the mules are very dangerous. When they hit, very hard to heal. As we'll see in a moment. I'm going to eat by him. I don't eat by him. I don't need someone who raises mules. I don't eat by him. Shama Rebbe, Rebbe here comes out. I'm going to sell it. I'll sell the mules. I'm going to give it to somebody else to have a bad animal. I'm going to put him in Efker. You make more nezek. You'll have a loose mules. Akramilo, cut part of the feet. Katlin will kill them. Ikabatashkas. How they come not bishbeituva. So Rebbe is begging him, please, come eat by me. A mountain grew between them. I can't bring him in. They can't get close to him. How do we know this way? The tzaddikim were in a greater state in the death than in their life. They're burying somebody. He was a Rasha. They saw the soldiers. So they threw the body of this Rasha into the kever of Elisha. He touched the bones of Elisha, Elisha Novi. He got up, came back to life, and he walked. What? So it was a big nace. Why? Elisha said that tzaddik, you can't close to that. That was an ace. Right? So it says, Eliyahu Novi gave a bracha to Elisha that you have double in me. Eliyahu Novi was machia child, and Elisha was machia child. Elisha has to do double. He says, that's the one he was machia. It says he got up, he didn't go home. That's not considered to be a bring back to life if he dies right away. So where was the key of the double? When he made Naaman the king of Moav, I believe, he made him have tzara. I think he healed the tzaras. Shishkula kemes, shema nati kemes. Don't be like kemes. Like in other words, by miracle. So you see that Mitzrayim was chashuv kemes. So that was the second one he healed. Okay, so now by the way, what was the raya? What was at least happening that Elisha was going to give him Yisrael? So Rashi says that he was made this person who touched him come to life just by touching him. He didn't have to put his mouth on his mouth, his eyes in his eyes, like he did when he's alive. Tani says no, because a Rasha touched him, he right away had to move. When Elisha was alive, it was when he was showing him around him. But when he dies, the Rishonim can't get close. Omar Shuma Levi back to explain the problem with the mule. That's the name of mules. They're scary on people. Whenever I got a question of someone they got hurt by a white mule, and he lived. What do you mean? Of course people live after being hit by a white mule. The aim of a meaning that the wound healed. We do say they healed. The chivin reish kar, talk about a specific mule that the top of their legs are white. That's the one that never heals. Kamina. Continues the Gemara now. We mentioned Chanina, and we're saying two more things of Chanina. One is ein oy milvadoy. Omav Chanina afilu kshofim. Even witchcraft, there's nothing stopping HaKadosh Baruch Hu from stopping it. Hayit esodavus kamadjua lemishkal hafom into the cars of Chanina. There was this woman who was trying to take earth beneath the legs of Chanina. It was a certain type of kishuv of sorcery to make him die. You can take. You're not going to be able to do kishuv. Why is it called kshofim? In a sense, they go against what's in Hashem. The nefesh chus is very big. So nefesh chaim, there's a nefesh chaim. Shai Gimel Pei Kudaf. Very, very important one. And he speaks about this Gemara. He says, what Chanina was relying on his chus, nefesh chus. So he says, the Nefesh Chaim, he says, no. Pshat is, Ein Levadoi is not only for tzaddikim. Anybody who lives a life that he believes Ein Levadoi, he's saved from all the issues of the world. Nothing will stop. Nothing will be able to hurt him. Because you rely completely on Hashem. This is really what the Rishonim already say. The pasuk says, "Apotach b'Hashem chesed sovenu." Someone who relies on Hashem will have chesed. So it's what the name of the Ramban. Hashem said, it says, "Apotach b'Hashem chesed sovenu." What's the? I have pasuk, something with a Russia. So you put together Apotach keneged Russia. So he says, doesn't say a tzaddik will have chesed, but it says a boiteach b'Hashem. Someone who relies on Hashem, in a muvadi who relies on Hashem, he has Yeshua. You have to all be talking to Hashem. Says Nefesh Chaim is a zgula nifla. It's an unbelievable zgula. When a person has a problem, a tzara, just tell yourself, Eino muvadoi, you'll be saved. And there's a famous story of the Briskerov. There's a few versions of the story, but the story goes somewhat to the effect that Briskerov during the World War II was running away, and suddenly there was a block by the Nazis, and they were checking, and they checked him, and they let him go. Why? Because he said, Eino muvadoi. That's the big matter of Eino muvadoi. More about this in the Shomach Shalom Daf. Very connected to listen to Shomach Shalom Daf on this one. So, and that's it. It's not nefesh chusi because he has chus. The chusi means he believes in Hashem. So that's the pasuk. Rabbi Machoyim la Rasha, v'Tach b'Hashem Chesed Yisovenu. A Rasha has many pains. But someone who relies on Hashem, you'll have chesed. Should say that tzaddik chesed suvena. Let's be talking to Hashem. One very important thing from Chanina. Person doesn't hurt his small pinky unless they announce it in Shemayim. All whatever a person does comes from Hashem. A person can design control. So here this the Makar brought down the Sefer Shomer Emunim HaKadmon. The early Shomer Emunim, when he speaks to everybody, it's Avikoch in Kabbalah. He says, here's a raya, everything that happens to a person is all written down up in Shemayim. Nothing happens in a coincidence, nothing. And the Yechezkel adds, there's the big Yeshiva of Yechezkel, that even a human being can't do something to somebody else if he doesn't deserve it. Not shy. Reuben can't smack Shimon unless Shimon deserves it. So that's a big nikud, a big thing in Emunah. Anything that happens to you is for a reason. Don't get too upset. It's all written, those all reasons, all things for Kishbuch. So and I saw Chaim Friedman there put these two things together. The two of Chaninos. Kishuf has no koyach because Einu Muvadoi, and anything that happens to you is also Einu Muvadoi. If a person goes, it's the same aleph. Ein Muvadoi. What happens to Kishbuch? Says the Gemara, Dam Nikuf, when a person gets hurt in his finger, I said pinky, but really we can see in a moment, talk about the thumb. Meratze, Kedam Moilam. That's a ritzah, that's a kapara. It has to be the right thumb. Ubeniku Sheni, it happened the second time in a row. That really hurts, I don't know where it's in a sense. What they call mitzvah is going back to do mitzvah, it's a sign, it's coming from Shamayim to give him kapara. Now the Gemara concludes and says, he never ate food that's not his. And once he became bardas, he did not enjoy his father's meal, or it says in the Yus over here, so he mainly goes back, Rashi says, when Rebbe asked for Pinchas Yair to come eat by him. So really the idea is Pinchas Yair in the end, he has the minhag, he never ate by anybody. He says, not because I don't want to eat by anybody, I have cheshbonis. So, but the Mai say he never ate by anybody else. And that was the Maila. So when he wanted to change that minhag for the covenant of Rebbe, something happened and stopped him. He saw the white mules. So says Rebbe, that's what it means, the tzaddikim, says Rashi. Because Pinchas Yair did not want, because what was stopping Pinchas Yair from changing his minhag of not eating by anybody, even Rebbe, he did not eat by. The father, Pinchas Yair did not eat by, from Yaakov.
Yeah, but he was a kid.
His meal. Since he was Oimel Das, he always made sure that it was his, either he bought it, or he did his own, he made sure.
When he was growing up,
until Oimel died. Well, that means he already had his own das. Maybe 13.
Maybe that insulting to the father.
Good question. Good. I think it's a good question. Very good, Rabbi Isai. We'll stop over here, continue.